I feel a message coming through. There's a divine perspective that's being pretty much gifted in this moment, a divine perspective, a zoom out, an eagle eye view. This has to do with lineage. It has to do with understanding that you as a light worker, you as a spirit-filled being that chose, the spirit, that came here to specifically, and by the way, I'm immediately getting corrected. What the emphasis is that you as a light worker, that you were sent here to sync, SYNC, a frequency code. And listen, the message that I'm delivering right now is definitely a channeled message, because it is a difficult message that if I were delivering from my ego, it would be a very challenging message for me to deliver, because I still have somewhat recent wounds that highly impacted my life, that make this revelation one that I can look at it, I can see it, I can receive it, I can understand with it, I can even agree with it, but it doesn't change the amount of pain that this agreement that we all this agreement that we all made, that we all came here knowing that we were going to make, it doesn't change that it was painful, that it was costly, not just for ourselves, but for many of us, for our children. And but what I'm also being shown right now is but it's not over yet. There's a lot that we perceive to be loss. I'm hearing that scripture, for the joy set before him, he endured the cross. There was that time where it felt like loss. And some of us, it's loss. Oh my gosh, yep, okay. So much revelation and correction and reminding in the most positive, hope-filled way. But this idea of at the time, right after the crucifixion, Peter and all them were highly disappointed, because according to their revelation in that time, even with the preconceived promises and notions and understanding that all of the revelation about what he said, it's hard to understand that what he said is that he meant this, you can tear down this temple and I'll rebuild it in 3 days. They didn't know what he meant necessarily. Maybe they did, but it's easily to forget when that shit goes down how it did, and everything is in shambles. It's you just, when you're in survival mode on that level, it's hard to remember. And it's difficult to even have the perspective to be able to be no, this is what he said was going to happen. Okay. So all that, back to this message that that's flowing right now. Wow, this is such a powerful message. Oh my gosh. Okay. We all, as light workers, agreed to come down to sync in, anchor in a frequency, to sync up a frequency from the divine realm with which we came into this realm. It's the spirit hovered over the face of the darkness, over the face of the deep, and then it said light be, and so on and so forth. Okay, so we are here to do that, and we were sent purposely through lines of lineage that were not perfectly attuned. There's disillusionment, there's flawed narratives, there's wounding that needed attention, there's just straight up lack of healing, like poverty running rampant, or whatever it may be for each of our lineages. And so I don't know about you, but it's been at times a struggle to come to terms with everything that I agreed to go through here and the cost that it would really be. But like I'm saying, like I'm being reminded again, is that like Spirit's like, but wait, remember, it's not over yet. Like you're perceiving that cost like without seeing the rest of the story, and that somehow, miraculously, it's one of those things that our ways are not the Creator's way. The Creator knows better, differently. Like the divine team has this chess game already played all the way out, and like just because we can't see how each of the plays are going to go to make this a win, ultimately it is a win. The totality is a win. And this message, depending on when it finds you, it's relevant for whenever it finds you, because the divine team will ensure, your divine team will ensure that it locates you when it's relevant for you. But when I'm recording this is like we're about to be entering into Father's Day weekend. And the male archetype, I don't know if that's even the right word, the male role throughout my lineage has been like strategically attacked and like brought down, I guess, for generations. Like, and it's different on both sides. Like, they're not all the same vices. One was a straight up accident, like just a terrible tragedy that just a freak accident that shouldn't have happened, that caused major debilitating what's that called? Paralyzation and blindness, like in the same person, and that was a really great man who loved his family and would have been a great leader, and he was just like literally like taken out of the game. And then there's some other like things that happened with the male people in my family lineage, and then also with my children's son. And so, like I said, there's this part of me that's like, what the what? I've been close with the Spirit since I was a little girl, like close. And so it's like, how could you do me like this? How could it be the most important thing to me to have a good partner, to have my children have a good father? How could it be the most important thing to me, and you did me like that, and them too? But the wild thing is that I the Spirit came to me about a year ago now, and just came, and like I was like not talking to the Spirit much at that time. It was before I was really getting rocking and rolling on the channel, honestly. And like I said, I've been close and tight with Spirit since I was young, but I was raised up through religion, and like I started to see a lot of the narcissism threads that are so easily hidden in the narrative of modern religion. And it's not to say that that like we're doing a logic game problem here. It's not to say that all people or thoughts in religion are narcissism, but it's to say that a lot of narcissism can hide and can be perpetuated and enabled through thought processes that are pushed in modern day religion. And so that's a problem for me, because it's like how I magnetized and how my lineage magnetized to that frequency. Okay, so let's get back to the key message here. The key message is I was being shown this like eagle eye view, and you can imagine like if you were to map out your whole family, and you being the pioneer that was sent here to hold the freaking line of a frequency, an internal frequency that's from your starseed lineage. I see it as like species, That's funny. I see where this is going. Anyway, so Okay, so if you know, you know. Okay, so we're here to bring a specific frequency to root the light into a dark space that's been overrun by pollution, greed, evil, you know. And so I was just being reminded to, especially on this weekend where like fatherhood might be something that's very complicated for you in your life. And this is the part where my ego screams. But what I'm being shown is like, you agreed to come through that specific familial issue so that you could transmute it in your journey. You knew that you would do it. You knew your divine team would help you do it. Your divine team knew they would help you do it. And everybody was like in agreement. And it was like, yep, the path is going to be rough, but I'm willing to do this because it's my soul's purpose. And so with that, I've been struggling with like anger lately about what my kids have had to live through. Like righteous anger for the one who makes children fatherless. And I'll never be apologetic about that anger because it is righteous and children should have the father and the mother. And ideally, they should both be healed in their masculine and feminine, each of them, so that it is a balanced partnership where everybody just works together. Like I'm visualizing like a string of DNA, you know, dancing together, like the two parts that come together and create the string of DNA, the strand. Like that's I see that like as the beautiful partnership of a healed masculine and a healed feminine in both of their, the active feminine and masculine within each of them being healed and balanced. And there can be that, then therein lies the beautiful union that then protects children and also is the example of for children. So yeah, like when I married somebody and we planned these children and we made plans and we talked about what was important and we talked about everything, you know, we talked about everything from like, okay, we're not going to do business trips away from each other where we sleep away. Like that was a value that we had set. If there's travel, we both go, like, because I can work from anywhere. So it was kind of like we had so many discussions, like so much, like what I perceive to be foresight. Got married so that the covenant protection, you know, like that's where my revelation was at that time. And so, you know, I was trying to do everything, trying to safeguard this, and it's just crazy because it's like, you know, anyway. So yeah, you can hear this is what I deal with. But then the Spirit is like, you have to remember you came here to do this on purpose and you knew you would. And you got to forgive all of those people who either, I don't know, there's a couple I'm seeing like, you know, kind of like bullet points. Like one is they just couldn't hang because this is a broken, toxic world and it's a rough game. And maybe they weren't meant, you know, maybe they're not the ones in their lineage to be able to do it. Or maybe they came, you know, maybe they're in your family and they came before you and it wasn't their role. And everybody knew that they weren't going to make it, but you did stand on their shoulders. They did help you in some kind of way, whether it was from like help or like revelation of like, don't do it like that, you know? It's like either way, they can be some of our greatest teachers. And so just having which I'm just like laughing because I've been so righteously angry lately that I'm laughing about how I'm talking about now, like forgiveness. And this is where, when your life is laid all the way down for the Spirit to move, this is what happens. So anyway, we're being encouraged right now to forgive. And that doesn't mean forget. It doesn't mean to like get back with people who are toxic and that can't hang or that don't do the work or that are thoroughly polluted in their life, and that's where they live, and they live and, you know, this is not about tossing your pearls to the swine, but what it is about is just releasing them from the hatred, from the contempt, from the anger, because no matter what, like, you came here to do something, and you knew you were going to come through a toxic line, you were going to encounter toxic energies, and you were going to transmute it for the collective, and it was going to serve purpose. And also just kind of being reminded of like the Job story where it's like, and it's not over, like, it's not over yet, like there's still so many more blessings that are either here or that are coming there are so many blessings that are either here or are still coming that are going to be redemptive and beautiful, and beauty from ashes, and miracles, and better than you could have imagined, and somehow, some way, beautiful. So, the other morning, while I've been kind of wrestling with this whole thing, not knowing that this message was going to come just like how it did, but I woke up to the song specifically by Jessica Simpson, so it's a cover, and it's called Angels, I think. I'm loving angels instead. Through it all, he offers me protection, a lot of love and affection, whether I'm right or wrong, down the waterfall, wherever it may take me. I know that life won't break me when I come to call. He won't forsake me. I'm loving angels instead. So, first of all, life is not going to break you, and I think you probably know that by now. I'll never forget when I was taking like punch after punch after punch. I'm talking like daily. My life was exploding, burning down, betrayal, betrayal, betrayal. It got worse. It got worse. Like, it was getting worse. But hey, I'm not prophesying, by the way. This was a past thing that's done now. But I'm saying it because it's important to know that there comes a time where you're like, wow, nothing can take me out, turns out. Like, and it just goes to show you the level that your divine team has your back. And like, your divine team is going to cause you to make it. And and you're not only going to make it, but you're going to thrive. You're going to come back to life, really the phoenix rising, really actually more your divine self than you ever were before. All that fire burns off everything that you like became to survive, or everything that you were programmed to be, but that's not really you. The fire burns away everything that is not of your core soul frequency. So it's like, it serves such a purpose. And this moment right now, we're going to do a quantum intercession together where we visualize whatever it is that you just, really still like makes you angry, or like, hurts, or whatever, like whatever the thing is for you, bring it to mind. And what I'm seeing are those, like, I think they're Chinese lanterns, I think is what it's called, where you light the fire in the paper lantern and it goes up into the sky. And so imagine you filling that lantern, or riding on the edges of it, or however you want to visualize, pouring into it like all of your righteous anger, all of that righteous hatred, that righteous contempt, that righteous and not righteous, all of it too, send it all in there. but even if it is righteous, and allow it to float away from you. And it's not that it's okay, and it's not that it's made right magically, but rather it's like making peace with it and releasing it into the ether to burn up on its own, and knowing that as it burns up, as it rises, you're transmuting that from within yourself. Wow. Waterfall, wherever it may take me, I know that life won't break me. When I come to call, He won't forsake me. I'll love in angels instead. And so, if this is a Father's Day that is rough for you, your divine team, your spirit family, you are surrounded by ancient lineage, ancestors, even the divine team that are like still out wherever we came from. They are like surrounding you, and they're reminding you that this earth family is not your real family. This earth family was a bloodline that you came into to do the mission, but you have this tribe of core soul family, and they are surrounding you, and they are just like so proud of you, and they're reminding you like, this is just a short mission. It's not as long as it feels. Like, remember where you came from. Step out of, become the observer. Like, step away from your human vessel for a minute when you feel bogged down by what feels like so real in this realm and like permanent, because it's not permanent. It's but a vapor. And the souls will be protected. The lightworker souls are eternal, and they're protected, and everything you're learning is worth something. Everything you had to go through will not be wasted. And there's still so many great, beautiful blessings ahead. It's worth smiling. Allow a smile to come to your face right now, just imagining, like, what would this tragedy be, flipped on its head and multiplied by 1,000,000 in terms of joy. And maybe you don't know how. That's the beautiful thing about the Creator and the divine team, is you don't have to know how it could happen. You just get to imagine what it would feel like and allow that to saturate your being and your atmosphere, and live in it no matter what happens. And live in it and cling to it, like cling to that good feeling, to that good promise, to that good expectation, no matter what's happening, and no matter how long you perceive it to be taking, you just live in that space now, because we know that ultimately everything is working out toward that good end, and so it's okay to live in that joyful vibration. Wow, what a beautiful message. Let me get to all of the various signs, and hold on, because this message has kind of been coming for a few days now. So let's see here. The signs: I saw a bluebird with one of those rectangle tails. It was just the full moon in Sagittarius. It was called the strawberry moon. We're in the month of June right now. It's numbers I've been seeing are 616, 1111, 111, 11 11 11, 434, 454, 919, 818, 333. Invite Spirit to channel any anger or any like outstanding feelings that you have right now. Ask Spirit to give you an outlet to channel it, and then do whatever you're shown. I sit and wait for an angel, contemplate my fate. Do they know the places where we go when we're gray and old? 'Cause I've been told that salvation lets their wings unfold. So when I'm lying in my bed, Thoughts are running through my head, and I feel that love is dead. I'm loving angels instead. And through it all, she offers me protection, a lot of love and affection, whether I'm right or wrong. And down the waterfall, wherever it may take me, I know that life won't break me. When I come to call, it won't forsake me. I'm loving angels instead. So offer the forgiveness, release it with the fire, release them, not because it was right, not because it was okay, but because from the greater big picture, you are here to do this work, to go through that fire, to transmute that pollution, to anchor in the frequency no matter what you had to do. It's kind of also like, it doesn't really matter, let's keep the main thing. You came here to anchor in your soul's core, your core soul's frequency, the frequency of the divine realm that you came from, because it brings peace, it brings righteousness, it brings balance, it brings elevation as in vibrationally, you know what I mean? And so it's like, no matter what we had to do that, the point is that we're still in the game and we're still doing that. And there's some really, really beautiful things that come on the other side of doing the work. And it's worth it. So get excited. Allow yourself to smile. Jump into some guided visualization of your dream coming true. There's some on Seed, Soil, Water, Spa, or find any that resonate with you. Get into that wish fulfilled. Feel it. Think feelingly. And I will see you as the celebration timeline continues to manifest. Be blessed, be well, be free.